Also returning to the scene is David Lee Roth, the former Van Halen frontman and 80s arena rock icon, who's back with a new 90s look and a new album called Your Filthy Little Mouth. It's Roth's first album since he moved from Los Angeles to New York City, where he was busted last year after trying to buy marijuana in a park. We sat down with Dave to discuss that issue and to look back at his contributions, to music videos. Here's what he had to say.
Diamond Dave, David Lee Roth, the one-time frontman of Van Halen, has released his first album in 3 years. Entitled Your Filthy Little Mouth, the 13 songs are a chronicle of the trials and tribulations of a transplanted Californian living in New York City.
It's more like a diary. You know, it's more like, I went on a vacation. No, it's not a vacation. What's the opposite of vacation? Highly stressed, possibly hostile camping expedition, and sent you back installments every week.
The record does not include an installment about Roth's 1993 arrest for purchasing a $5 bag of marijuana or the one-ring media circus that followed.
I'm so tired of proponents of the media lumping in a BS $10 throwaway marijuana cigarette with crackheads, junkies, bass freaks, and amphetamine idiots because it's not the same. Okay? When people say drugs, you're a bust for drugs. No, it wasn't a bust for drugs. It was a traffic citation for a little throwaway marijuana cigarette.
The 1994 version of David Lee Roth is a far cry from the sequins and leotards of the past, but he does look back at those days with a sense of humor.
People ask me about, Dave, well, what are these characters? You're targeting racial groups. I said, well, just every single one I could think of. I'm sure I left a few out. Everybody's an idiot in this. It's a skewed version of the world, you know, from the mind of the slightly distorted.
David!
This is satire. Just a Gigolo is satire. It's taking familiar characters or types and putting them in scenarios that would never, ever happen. And it's also a satire on what video had come to me. It was very full of itself. What does Dennis Leary say? Pull right over on the side of the pretentiousness freeway, please.
So what happens when Mr. Roth of the 90s meets his fans from the 80s?
Absolutely still the best. No one works at Cali, David Lee Roth, man. Nobody. He came out with a vest on. He wasn't looking cool. You know, he didn't look sexy the way he used to look cool and rock out.
David Lee is the man. He will always be the man. He is like Elvis of all men.
I'm not sure if he will be wearing the gloves, but Dave's tour plays Houston Monday and Dallas on Tuesday.